welcome to Chancla Talk, where we discuss some of the latest movies, shows, and game releases with some facts, but mostly opinions. Today's topic will be Vikings, more specifically the epic anime Vinland Saga. Take it away, Grumpy.
Ya, bienvenido. Con nosotros tenemos hoy Grotesque, cuál es el team captain. Tenemos el papi, Lilirose, y myself, que es Grumpy. So, like the captain said, estamos hablando hoy de Viking Saga. I think this is a new addition to my anime collection.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it's a great show. I love it.
I love it.
I love it too.
All around, I think people love it because has like a Rotten Tomatoes audience score of 88%. So todo el mundo le gusta. Seems to be very good.
It's really good. I don't know.
It's a really well balanced
Yeah.
anime.
And a quick warning: we're not trying to give you spoilers, but I said it may slip out as we.
We're going to be talking about
spoilers.
What's
warning,
going on, so I
basically,
think we might give out some spoilers.
Yeah, spoiler warning.
Which is, we are talking about it. We have to talk about it.
We won't give spoilers about season 2, though.
Because we don't know
True.
what's going to happen.
How good we are.
So anyway, those of you who already watched it, I'm pretty sure you know que se trata de a Viking kid named Thorfinn who pursues a journey with his father's killers in order to take revenge and end the life in duel as an honorable warrior and pay his father a homage. So it feels really traditional Viking story, right? It's like chaos, war, fighting. This is like one of the few animes que se escucha como si fuera I don't know, se fuera como el show of the Vikings. It's very true to the Viking age.
Oh, mm-hmm.
Yeah. So you get that feel of it, right?
Yeah.
I'm also a Viking show fan.
Oh yeah, me too.
Oh, the Viking show, yeah.
I don't know. I feel we're gonna say a few spoilers, but yeah, he's this kid is angry.
Very.
He's enraged.
Enraged.
The whole series, he's very enraged.
He lost his way, man. He's enraged.
But he did start like. How old was he when it happened?
5, 6, around 5, 6.
Okay, so yeah.
So
yeah, that's a very young age to like start with so much anger, and
yeah. And then considering the environment he was raised into, like it contributes to all this anger.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Anyway, when it comes to violence, I think is perfectly balanced in violence.
Yeah.
Everything. So animes, like it feels great, right? Everything is great. It feels the violence feels good. The lines feel great.
Yeah. The blood splatters.
Blood splatter though.
And I like how he trained himself with the daggers and stuff.
I really like that.
He's went out and proved himself. Yeah.
And
because even though he's with the crew, like they don't really take care of him. He's just there with them, you know.
And also they use him as a weapon as well because he's so elite. Tell him to. I don't want to spoil it, but
because nobody expects a child, you know.
Okay, so. But we gotta talk about it, guys. I don't think.
There's no way we can.
I was trying to like maybe not.
Whoever is here, I think, has watched it.
That's okay. We won't spoil season 2. That's coming to Japan in January 2023.
Yeah, we can't do this without spoiling some stuff. So whoever from here on out, whoever hasn't watched this, just know maybe go watch it and then listen to this episode. uh,
Yeah.
because we're gonna spoil stuff. So I think that's why Darfur came by and he left a lurk. I don't think he's watched it. He left a lurk and just like, yeah, I'm here, but not here.
But yeah, it's like it's kind of cool how they just use them as well, you know.
Yeah. Yep. No, I love the whole thing. I mean, lo que
Like
me gusta es que de este show, lo que me gusta es que it's like just like Vikings, está associated with history.
Yes.
¿Entiendes? You can
yeah,
tell there's like
Yes.
historical traits in the show. Not everything happened like it happened, pero
Hmm.
yeah,
Thorfinn is a real person. It's like
El Papa. It's
el papá
based on a real
también. There's
character.
like historical sagas that describe the dad. Thorfinn también. Vinland is US.
Okay.
¿Entiendes? America, basically.
yeah.
The Americas, not the US. I think it was Canada. The Jumps Vikings were
Mhm.
real.
Mhm. Really?
I feel like
Nice.
I don't know too much about that history, so enlighten us.
Enlighten me,
Yeah.
please.
Before we do, ahí está el catador de pizza. Thank you for being here.
Hola,
Um,
catador.
he is one who
Bienvenidos.
has watched it. I think he had mentioned. So welcome to comment on it if you have anything. So yeah. Yeah, enlighten us a little bit more because I don't know much about the history of it.
The history.
Get
So Vinland wasn't a real okay. Vinland se refiere a the Americas.
at the
Okay.
Americas, basically, essentially, right? We talk about Americas. More specifically, it's like historically, it's like more like Canada, llegando,
Okay.
pero the
Okay.
Americas.
Okay.
Then the John Vikings were a real, like group of
Oh.
a real group of mercenaries. Que, essentially, they just highest bidder, right? The mercenaries who were paid them, they would go and do whatever they had to do. So it's very accurate in esa
Okay.
parte, John's Viking. There's also a reference to John's Vikings and Vikings
Oh, okay.
show. Y el juego Valhalla too. I don't know if you guys
haven't.
play Valhalla. But in it, once you get to enough like missions, you get assigned like a John's Viking that you can hire and
Oh
you'll be your
wow.
second
Okay.
person.
Oh wow.
So I had no idea until I started watching. Like, oh shit, John's Vikings, right? John
Okay.
Luke's
Nice.
Vikings. So it's like it used to be a real thing. It's like mercenary
Yes.
Vikings that work for the highest bidder. Also in history, you have like Torkel the Tall.
Yes.
Remember that
Torkel.
big ass guy?
I love
You have a picture of
Torkel.
him?
I mean,
Yeah.
on the show, it was badass.
Yeah, he was like the best.
Yeah.
One of the best characters they had. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
He was also a real person. And he was a chieftain who gained renown during his lifetime for his fighting prowess and who played a notable role in the English history
Oh
in the
wow.
11th century. So he was like they're showing that he's one of the most accurate
Nice.
characters,
Okay.
right? Along with Canute as well.
Okay.
Wow.
Canute, que era
The prince? Was it?
el prince,
Yeah.
prince who became
Yeah, he becomes.
king, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, era also un historically accurate character también, que era king of England, Denmark, and Norway. And he was his dad was the king at the time, and he had to sort of align also with Torquil the Tall to take over the kingdom. So it's like that part is historically accurate.
Wow.
It's not so much as a Thorfinn coming in.
Okay.
Pero demás es like, yeah. Y, ¿cómo se llama el tipo que era?
Askeladd. Yeah.
Askeladd? Askeladd, yeah. Best character, I think.
I really
in
liked
my
him.
mind.
I think that
Yeah, he wasn't really historically any was significant in it. He is a
Okay.
fictional character.
Yeah.
But he embodied the Viking
I
age
really
so
loved
well,
that. Yeah.
I think.
There's like a lot of twist with him. Like you didn't know what to expect from him ever, and I think I really like that. Like
Yeah.
like you expect one thing, and it's not that, and then it was changing a lot as it went through, but it was never what you expect with
Yeah.
him, and it was perfect. I think that was perfect.
Yeah, I don't know if he's the. Would you classify him as the villain in
I
this one?
I wouldn't really, not
No?
really. Like
No,
in a
right?
way, yes, to him only though, right?
Mhm.
Mhm.
To Thorfinn, it was like, and yeah, you get a little bit of hatred for him at first, right? And then you
Yeah.
notice
In the
like what
beginning.
he's kind of doing, and you don't know what to expect from him, but
Yeah.
like it's like there's like a big um character development coming up with him, right? Like immediately
Yeah.
as you see him like giving mercy to him and not killing him right away. Uh
Yeah. The many times he
yeah,
beat him, right?
yeah,
That's
he
crazy.
Yeah.
had the chance
Yeah.
to kill him many times, but yeah, like so many times.
Yeah, I
So many.
agree. I love how strategic he was.
Mhm.
Yes, he's very.
He's a very tactically minded person. He knew everything. He was anticipating all his enemies. So I love how he could fight, but also
Yes.
think.
Yeah.
But
I love the characters.
considering that, do you think he anticipated what was gonna happen there at the end? Where
I
the
think so. Yeah.
prince came and stabbed him? Do you think he set all of that up, or
Um
Yeah.
that was a
Because
miscalculation?
I
I
think so because he's
I
an elite, fighter.
mhm.
So like he came in and just did it. So yeah, he had to do it as a king to become a king. So
Yes.
that was a very important part of him to do it, take him down.
Okay.
So
El Catador de
I
Pisa
think.
says, yeah,
Yeah.
best character of the anime, love him. Yeah, always 10 steps ahead. And that's true. He was always 10 steps ahead of
100% true.
everybody.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah. But not only
Yes.
that, but también tenía un
yes,
cause, ¿entiende? Which is to protect the Wales and his
I love
family,
that. Yeah,
like heritage
Yeah.
for Wales. So he hated the
the
Danes
whole
all the whole
time. And
time, the
he,
Vikings.
Hmm.
So the whole time he worked with them and
yes,
hated them. So it's very impressive as a character.
yeah, that was great.
Mm.
Um,
Yeah. It's a very multi-dimensional
mhm.
character, right? He has everything. He has love, hate. He can fight. He can think.
Yeah.
Another character that I love is Thorkill the Tall, which I love him, but he's very single-dimensional
Yes.
character, right?
I
He
think
is
Yes,
El
Storko.
yeah,
Grande.
grande.
Sí,
I
el
I
alto.
Yeah,
yeah, I
él es
thought
todo
he
chiquito.
was gonna have a little bit more depth to him, but it stayed pretty neutral. Like
Yeah.
it just stayed the same.
Well, he might
Yeah,
in the coming seasons because
of
he did
course,
stay
yeah.
alive.
But
So
I was expecting more from him in this season, right? Like it was
Yeah.
just showing
yeah,
Yeah,
him his badassery and like um
That's it.
how much of a
that's
savage
it.
he is, but also like how
Yeah.
Yeah,
charismatic I guess he is too. Like he's just, I think I liked him
yeah.
because of that. He was
yeah.
always like
It's
joking around and laughing at everything, and he took
Hmm.
everything with amusement.
Although
Um,
yeah,
although he even though they showed him like that, though they showed him also winning a lot of victories and staying with being able to always hunt down
yes.
Askeladd and like
Hmm.
so even though they don't show him as a thinker, I mean he must have been, right?
Yeah.
that is true. Yeah, he is a general by
Hmm.
sense, right? So he helped the
Yeah.
English, and he was able to, yeah, like you said, chase Askeladd. He's not
Yeah.
easy target. But yeah. So related to that, any other favorite characters you guys have?
Um,
Because those are like my top two: Askeladd and Thorfinn, of course.
yes.
I see
But he's
He's
so
Thorfinn.
so
young.
young, yeah. Like
Yeah.
we're
Thorfinn,
gonna
Young.
yeah,
love him
but
like next season.
Yeah.
yeah, I'm eager to
Yes.
see his growth. Yeah,
Yeah.
I think that was the best one. Askeladd? Is that how you say it?
And
Askeladd, yeah.
Askeladd, yeah.
Yeah.
Um,
Askeladd.
that I think that's my favorite one. And also, yeah,
Yeah.
as El
I
Catador de
agree with
Pisa says, Doors. I really like Doors too. I just wish I would have seen more of him.
yours.
I did too.
Um,
Yeah.
This is like the only time I wish there was like
right?
a prequel. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I would love to see
I loved
Doris.
him.
Well, maybe in the following ones, there might be
I
more flashbacks
Yes.
that give you more story of the dad, because
I think so.
obviously the dad is what's going to
Yeah, that
define
makes
his
sense.
character,
Yeah.
because it's revolved around finding peace and stuff, and that's he still hasn't found
And I
that.
feel like
Mhm.
that a
Yeah.
big piece of that is going to come from Thorkel. I'm not good with these names. Thorkel, yes. Because
Yeah,
yeah, his
his
uncle,
uncle.
who's
Yeah.
just like he's always like, oh, like in the whole battle scene that they're like, you want to know more? Okay, but show me something so I can. And he's not really opening up, so he doesn't
See,
even know
yeah.
about this thing that he has with the other one and the duels. He doesn't even know the reason as to why in this whole season. He doesn't know anything about that.
Know anything? How about Floki? What do you guys think of him? I mean, he started really strong as a character,
They barely show
Yeah.
them, but
the
yeah.
right? The antagonist, pero después
Yeah.
como que
Right?
flicked off, right? Como que no
I
hizo mucho más.
No,
I
so much.
thought
I was thinking,
no, go ahead.
I'm sorry. No, I was thinking that Thorfinn, he was going to
Yes,
realize that actually that was the mastermind behind his dad's death, and that's
that's
who
what I
he
was
was
about
going
to
to start
say.
to
Yep.
avenge to kill. But
It's a
but
lot more that I hope that they touch on season 2. It's like why they kill him, and then there's a lot of whys in
I
the
think they
past.
will.
Yeah, we know that Floki didn't like him, but why did he go
well, because
against
he
the?
abandoned them, right?
That's
He ab-
true, but it
he
wasn't like
faked his death and ran off with
It
his
the
felt
way the
wife.
personal.
show sort of said it is that yeah, it was personal because
Mm.
he doesn't seem like the king or whoever the John's Viking
Hmm.
leader is had him killed. It seems to be himself.
Yeah, I see. Yeah, I see what you're
Yeah,
saying.
exactly. That's
He seemed like he really
yeah,
needed
that's what
him
he
to.
did exactly. He just went and sidelined him into to being killed, but
Yep.
Yeah.
but yeah, I didn't really I really thought like Lilirose said, I really thought that as soon as they arrived and I saw like Floki was there, I was like, oh, like this is gonna, like
Mhm.
shit's gonna go down, you know? Like
Yeah, I thought the
like
whole village was
damn,
gonna go
okay.
burning down. The whole village.
But no,
Oh.
that I think that's coming, but it's like okay, this was just centralized. This season was all centralized on his hatred for oh my god, say the name again.
Yes, just
Seeking
seeking
revenge.
revenge.
Yes,
Askeladd.
Askeladd. I need to write that down.
Mm.
Um,
Yes, he was just. And then that's the last scene where like they show like the dagger
yes,
dropping. It's like it was so
he was never
symbolic.
gonna let
Like
it go.
this period has ended. Yeah. Now he's gonna enter a new
Yes.
stage and a new character arc for his growth.
Yeah, Thorfinn's evolution was very battle centric. I mean, I wish he would have grown a little bit more mentally in front of us
Yeah.
in this season.
Yeah.
You know,
But
because
he was all over. He's always.
yeah,
But
Askeladd's
he's
like
still pretty young in this one. In the next one, he's a bit older, so
Yeah.
hopefully
man.
wisdom starts to
It
get
will
there.
come.
But
Yes, I think so.
So, what's your favorite scene from the show?
Oh, I think that
Ooh.
last scene was my favorite.
mm,
The last one,
Yeah,
really?
the whole king thing.
Loved it.
I like that part. I think
Yes,
that was awesome.
I like that.
it was so
Yes.
methodical that I loved it. Yeah, I love
Yeah.
that part.
It was really
Um,
good. I feel like not really horrible games, but the once the he fought that big
Torkel.
dude in the bridge.
Uh-huh.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
Oh, I
Thorkel.
like
yes.
that one too.
That was
Yeah.
pretty good.
He was I like him. He's like, come back.
Le metió una pela, pero at least.
I really like that whole scene.
Yeah. I like the visual of like cuando el papá murió and he's just
Oh my
standing there with
God.
all the arrows, like he still hasn't fallen. He's just standing there,
Oh yeah.
and the kid's actually
Yes.
broken and on his knees. It was like that was a really strong image. It was like
Yeah.
That is so true. I thought like that was like a great like picture of it, like when they show the scene like backing up and the white
see,
like around it. It's just that image of him like kneeling down.
yeah,
That was like that was
yes,
amazing.
that the kid was actually who became broken through that
Mhm.
action and not the dad. The dad was still proud of his sacrifice.
Okay.
Yeah. No, I love it. And that scene specifically, right? Specifically, I love how the good characters can die but not lose the
Yes.
battle. ¿Entiendes? It's like
Yeah.
Thor's. He didn't lose the
Mhm.
battle he had there. He never lost, but he lost his life. And
Yeah.
the same with Askeladd too, right? He's so methodical. You can tell he didn't lose. He orchestrated everything to fit in place. So he saved everybody
Exactly.
at the same time, and he sacrificed. Yeah. So I love those
That is
scenes.
true. Yeah.
If you're shallow, you'll be like, "Oh, he lost the battle," but no,
Mhm.
deeper. It's like he beat
Exactly. He
everybody.
didn't care
Yeah.
about losing the battle of like who's stronger. It was more like who like would you keep your word of letting them go, you know, like
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep.
so yeah, I like that. I really love that. El Catador de Pisa says the reunion of Loki and Askeladd cuando al final tira el spear y uno piensa like it was for intimidation, pero era para matar al que estaba detrás de
Yeah.
la cortina. That that was like holy
Oh
shit.
yes, that was a
Oh,
really good
yeah.
scene. Yeah.
Uh,
And it was good because
yes,
surprising. You didn't
I didn't
expect it.
expect that at all. I thought that was
Yeah.
awesome.
Because at that moment, you think of Askeladd's just some punk,
Hmm.
¿entiende? And
Yep.
and Floki's like the more badass one. But in that turn, and it took me like a little bit, right? Because he throws a spear. I'm like, oh, okay, he missed, or just it's just stupid, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
that was dumb. Yeah, exactly.
And then there's the, yeah, and then there's the
Gotta
Yeah.
work on his aim.
yeah, and there's a guy behind it. It's like, oh shit, this is
Yes,
deeper.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So the Askeladd's men know are more badasses than
hmm
the Jones Vikings.
I love that. So yeah, the El Catador says this
Yeah,
enemy had
Yeah.
many great scenes. Yep, it did.
it did.
Yeah.
Yes.
Amazing scenes. Also, another one que me gustó mucho fue la parte que whenever the lady takes him in
Oh my
and the
god,
first
Ah.
yeah
Yep. I
that
did.
part killed
Yep.
Oh,
me.
yes.
Oh my god, yes. I thought he was gonna get some kind of
Brutal. Yeah.
realization with that part.
Yeah. Me too. I thought he was
Yeah.
like, okay, he's gonna
Yep.
He's gonna
separate
start
un
noticing
poquito
what
del.
he's doing, but no, still he was too enraged. Yep.
Nope. Yeah.
yeah. But her face
Right?
was like
He
perfect.
was
Very disappointed.
Yeah. So this yeah that face of broken heart. It's like
oh,
Yeah.
oh
that was
I totally forgot about
wow, that was a deep part though. Like well, the more you think about it,
that. Yeah.
it's even deeper because it's like her realization of disappointment of like of the kid, right? But also the big
yep
mistake that she did, which was like being too compassionate
Cover him.
uh and kind, and
yes
noticing that because
yes
of it, uh, it brought death upon them. You know, like it's
yep
horrible.
Yep.
yep. It was a great.
It's
It was very
very
emotional scene. Yeah, but she disappears with the crowd. Like you know
yes.
she died,
It was
right?
it's
It's not.
beautifully made because it's
Yeah.
like the
Yes.
she's
Yeah.
staring at
Yeah.
him, and then the
Yeah.
soldiers like the Vikings just get in there, and you can see like it just
Yeah.
disappears with the bodies. You know, it's like what?
Yeah.
Yep. It's a great scene. I
I
love
do
it.
feel
But yeah,
I was a little
yeah.
confused because like when they would like I had a dilemma with like how much they would say like, "Oh, what language are you speaking?" And I'm like in my mind it's like, "What language are you speaking? I need you to put this in the subtitles or something." What
Yes.
are you speaking?
English.
Yep.
Wait, all everybody's the
Everybody's the
same. What are
same.
you talking
English or
Yeah.
Japanese.
Porque todos quieren- ¿Por qué este no se entiende? ¿Qué está pasando aquí?
Like, why isn't it? I need somebody in letters telling me this person's talking this, you know, like at least in the subtitles,
Yeah.
Yeah.
talking in Danish, blah, blah, blah. But even if it's in English, just subtitles, but tell me what they're saying, what language, so I can understand.
Yeah. Yeah, because it took me a minute until he started yelling like, "Does anyone
Exactly.
speak?"
And
And
that
then I was
happened
like, "Oh,
multiple
okay,
times.
I understand." Yeah.
Let me see. Catalor de Visa says was when they tell Thorfinn sister that her dad. Oh my God, that yes. So she was like someone had to keep things going, so
Ah.
she kept working harder, no sleep. Yeah, I broke down with that part. That thing killed me. When the sister
Yeah,
is
that
like
was really
Oh yeah,
overworking herself,
they
just to
just
not
to get her
to
mind
focus
off.
on the fact that her father died. Uh,
yeah.
But yeah,
that was
very strong as a
yes.
leader person. Yeah,
She was
she
trying her
definitely
best, and then to keep it
What
strong.
trying her
what
best.
was it that she had said? Like, no need to waste time on
Yes.
tears.
Yeah,
It's just gonna make you
yeah.
more hungry or something.
I was like,
Like,
wow, girl, you're
oh,
strong. Like,
I
what's
was like,
wrong? Like, did you hate your father secretly? And then it's like, then you notice this. Okay, she's working her ass off, and then okay, you
yeah,
get to the point. You're like, yes, oh,
Yep.
yes,
yeah.
Yeah, but it made you wonder what's happening there, right? It's at the beginning you feel like, oh, but maybe she doesn't love her dad, but then you feel like, oh, maybe there is something
yes.
deeper there.
I
He
mean,
did, and
she always
Mhm.
had that thing. Well, eventually they showed it a little bit. Like her father becomes a great father, but at first it's like, oh, give me a son.
yeah, wanted,
So
yeah,
yeah,
being the
Yeah.
firstborn and being a woman, she felt like she needed to show that she was strong enough to be a man, to be taken seriously and
yeah,
being loved.
And I think in the manga
hmm
they show a little bit more like how she's trying to prove herself as a warrior. Like she keeps on talking about like she'll be a warrior
Yeah.
and stuff. So,
Oh, okay.
Okay, so
which I can't remember if they put that
I wish it happens, right?
in the
Should be
anime,
yeah,
but
I
badass.
feel like there's
Yeah,
gonna
that
be
would
a
have.
lot of flashbacks and stuff, and they're gonna, and they forgot entirely about that, right? Like they didn't even show anything about her ever again. Her and the mom, like that's gonna come eventually, I guess.
yeah, I guess so.
Yeah,
I mean, they followed pretty well the
Okay.
manga. I mean, like some things are out of order, but besides that, it's. I mean, yeah, the writer of that did
Okay.
amazing job.
So yeah, so
Um,
hopefully in the next season they show more about all that.
No, I hope so. I definitely hope so. But and like I said before, I think this show reminded me so much of Vikings, the
Yes.
show.
the Viking show. Yeah,
Like
yeah,
the same feeling of violence.
and
Uh,
like they're both taking from history, but like
yeah,
adding their
Yes.
it's like
flair
too
to
loosely
it.
based on history.
Yeah,
I do think that Viking show did a lot better at sort of dealing with the whole language
Yes, of course.
things, right?
But this is
yeah,
an anime, a Japanese anime,
Because
so
yeah, this is Japanese language, but yeah, they sort of did it better in that sense. They started off with the like Dane language, and before they
mhm.
transitioned to English, letting us know, okay, they're speaking a
Yes.
different language.
right.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I think I like that a lot. But this show, like Askeladd, reminded me a lot of
Yeah.
like Ragnar. Like always,
Yeah,
like he had a purpose. He never told us, but he knew he was doing. He knew he had a strategic vision. And he was very tactically
Yeah.
driven, just like Ragnar. I think that's what I love about him.
I agree. Yeah. Like El Catador
Yeah,
said, he's always like
that's
10 steps ahead. So I
yeah,
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 like
exactly. He
Ragnar, right?
always
It's
like
amazing.
he stayed quiet. He didn't say a word. Ragnar would be like he always knew what was
yeah,
coming and he had a plan to it, but
Yeah,
he didn't speak it, you know? It's like I got this.
exactly.
yeah. I like how also both shows kind of also focus on like how religion they kind of actually make like religion and
Yes.
beliefs into a villain in both shows. Like
hmm
that's what pushes a lot of people's
Mhm.
actions and
That is true.
justifications.
Both of them are sort of putting this whole Old Norse gods with the Christian,
Yes.
influences and how it affects the character.
Mhm.
That's also huge.
That
I
is
think it's
huge.
it's played in Vikings, played in this one too, villain.
And there with the girl with the ring, like they really focused on like how
Oh my god,
guilty and
yes.
stuff people can feel
I
through
forgot
like
about that.
the Christian and then she feels bad for this one thing, but she doesn't feel bad on like telling about them and like causing the deaths of many. Like
Mhm. Yep.
Yeah, but it does feel like the writers were like trying to make a point with those
Mhm.
scenes, right? So in that
Mhm.
sense, right, it's a violent scene que estaba ahí, que they killed all the villagers. That's one of the toughest ones, right? Even though they didn't show it, it's
It
really
was.
Viking. in
It
sense.
is, yes.
It is a
So the question, why is it that we love Vikings so much, despite being so violent?
I
Mm.
think
Right? That's like a deeper question to
that's true.
introspect here. Why is it that we love Vikings whenever they're so violent?
Well, I mean, at least in Viking show and in Vinland, it's not so much the violence that we like. It's like the character's growth and what's driving them to do their actions and what's motivating them. Like the ones that are just raiding and raping, it's like we don't tend to care too much about them. It's
That's
the
true.
characters that they're focusing on, the ones that have more depth to the reason of why they're
Yeah.
doing what they're doing,
Yeah.
like Askeladd
Oh
and
yeah, for sure. But that's a good question. Like why do
That is a
we,
good question.
knowing how savage they are, right? Because they are savage and brutal.
yes.
Why do we love Vikings? And I think it's like how they're driven into battle, I guess. Like I think that's like the coolest part of what I think, right? Of how they see
Hmm.
um how do you say that? Like they're how they're driven into like I will they see battle as like I don't know, guys. I lost it.
No, yeah,
Like
yeah.
as a
What
No, I know what you're
motivate?
saying.
motivation,
Yeah, the motivation behind
exactly
the
the
savagery.
motivation,
Yeah,
more as
not
to like how they think of it, right? As a whole of like
Yeah.
Yeah. It's like battle is
yes,
almost like a spiritual ritual for them,
thank
right?
you,
It's a,
thank
Yeah,
yeah,
you
it's
have to
like that.
be honored to go to what
Yes,
Valhalla? What's it
yeah.
called?
yeah.
So it's like
Yes.
they want to go in battle. They want to die
yeah,
honorably. I
and
think
that
that's
in
the
that
mindset.
sense
So
that they,
I guess
Yeah.
maybe that's
if they die without touching their sword, if there's without their sword in
Yeah.
hand, they don't go. You know, like that's like they
yeah.
see it that way. I think that's what I think that's what attracts the most.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's true.
Yes.
And I agree with Lilirose, what she said. I mean, it's like, it's not just a killing, right? Because
No,
there's a
yeah.
bunch of
There's
dumbasses
always
killing.
dumbasses,
We don't
yeah.
like those. Yeah, it's the
The
one with the
big
bigger
vision,
vision.
yeah.
Someone trying
Yeah.
to create something better and making sacrifices. And who's willing to like
Mhm.
question everything, right?
Mm-hmm.
Thorfinn is now starting to question Thor's,
Mhm.
the dad. He
Yeah.
questioned everything, the life of
Yes.
Viking, didn't they? But we also saw that with Ragnar
Mhm.
too in the Viking show.
Yeah.
But he questioned everything. His religion, why we do this. They're
Yep.
determined, but they're not scared to question their own
Yes.
culture.
I think that
Yeah.
yeah, those are the characters that really click. Like those that question, that want to know
Mm-hmm.
how to change with with what's going on,
Yeah. Yeah, thinking
Yeah,
ahead of
thinking
everybody
ahead,
else.
Mm-hmm.
but also why are we doing this, kind of thing, kind of sense.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. That being said, right, to wrap this up, what would be your Viking name if you had to pick one, right? I'm thinking mine would be something like Grumpy the Tall or Grumpy the Chunky.
Um,
You really grumpy the chunky. Hmm.
See.
that's a good one. Let
Some
me see.
burn. That's
Uh, everything over there has something like Loki or
Yes.
Thor or
It has a name and something very
I
obvious
feel
about
like
them
that,
physically.
like I will always be known as the tall because I'm a woman and tall.
Yeah.
Grotesque the
Grotesque the
tall.
Tall. Grotesque the Tall. You're
Yeah, I would
definitely
definitely
called
just,
tall, yeah.
just that's the first thing people think when they see me. Do you play basketball? You're
What's your
tall.
height?
Do you play basketball?
El mío no sé, el mío.
It'd be
Boy,
something
Papi,
like Lily
Papi.
the Quiet, 'cause
Lily the
that's what I
Quiet,
always
yes.
get.
Ooh,
Why are
that's a
you
good
so quiet?
Lily the Quiet, Grumpy, a Chunky. Yeah. Grotesque the Tall, El Papi.
El loco.
Tongoh the
Loquito.
crazy.
Tongoh
I think I would say the greatest quality of not the greatest quality or the most seen by people about Tongo is how funny he is. So it'll be something like that,
Oh yeah,
like humoristic. El catador dice
yes,
Tongi.
Tongi.
That's his name.
The
Tongi.
Tongi.
Aquí ve Tongi.
Yep, Tongi siempre volando. On cannon your face.
That is his name forever for you.
It's not gonna go
Tongi.
well. Tongi.
Tongi. Yep.
Just put a H in there instead of Tongi. It's gonna be Thonky.
I'm gonna put
Tongi.
it Tongi.
Make it more Viking looking.
Tongi.
But yeah, I think that's
But
that
yeah,
concludes
that's
pretty much our episode on Vinland, right? We covered
Yeah.
everything.
yep. I think that was a great show.
Loved it.
Um,
It was so
yes.
Viking.
Yeah.
All the reasons I love Viking show, I love this one because it's so violent, so conniving, some strategic,
Yeah.
and
Especially for anime.
Yes.
historically accurate too, right?
I did
Mostly.
love that they never put them as as what they are not. Like they always put them as savages because that's what they did. They didn't
Yes.
know what it was to be empathetic. They just knew that they had to kill and they had to prove themselves as warriors and that's it. They never showed like them being empathy towards the kid. No, the kid was dying, they didn't give a crap.
No.
He didn't have food, he didn't have
Yeah.
anything. They didn't care. And I really like that. They didn't humanize how they were. Like no, they were savages. That's it.
It was exactly.
So yeah,
Yeah.
that was really cool.
Yep. I love the show.
Y también, by the end of the show, también el crew de él, you can see like he had like empathy by, hey, just hey, here, get the go, take your
Mhm.
brother, whatever. Like,
Yeah.
"Vuela."
Oh
no
yeah,
te vas a
he's
morir
like,
en
this is your
en el
chance.
otro.
Like, this is your
Yeah.
moment to like just finish me off
then-
so that you can release get your
Get your
revenge.
get your vengeance.
But yeah, that was a great. I wasn't expecting that ending, and I
That was-
really liked it. I
Yep.
wasn't
Yeah.
expecting it like
Yeah.
that,
Me neither.
and in a way, like you feel weird because you really thought it was gonna happen in the hands of, you know. Yeah, that's
Thorfinn, yeah.
Actually, I thought he would not be able to at the end. I thought like he was gonna like they were gonna duel and he would have his chance and he would be like, no, because they had grown
Yeah.
together,
Yeah.
That's what I thought was gonna happen. But
exactly, yeah. In a way, you thought there's gonna be a
Yeah.
connection between them. That he was gonna be
Connection,
like, you
yeah.
know what,
yeah,
I released this, like I'm gonna stop this, but like, no, that anger was there.
I did not see it that way.
It was good. I like that. I like the surprise of how it happened, and
Mhm.
that
Yes.
like it's a very rough lesson for him. Like he didn't get the vengeance he wanted. Now he needs to move on, even if he doesn't like it. He needs to
Yeah.
let it go. And that's like Lilirose said, like the image of the dagger falling. It's like he never let
Mhm.
go of that,
Yes.
which was like a representation of his anger. The dagger was his anger or his,
Yeah.
and he had
Yeah.
to release it and it needed to be let go. So yeah.
Yeah. Well, that's-
Really, really good scene. I loved it. Very symbolic.
Okay. So I think that's a wrap up on that. That was
Yeah.
a great
I think so too.
great show. Next week.
Yeah. Sadly, season 2 will not be hitting
Oh
US
yes,
until about
right.
3 years from now. So
What? Really?
Yep. Just read the book,
it's
guys.
2026 is rumored.
I'm
Because
reading the book.
2023 it will
book.
be released in Japan, right? And then
So,
Yes, in
January.
January.
So
it
over
will be
here it'll
released
be
in
3 years later.
season 2. Yeah. Which
Remember.
they already do have the trailer out, which it looks pretty good, but yeah.
Don't do that to me. Don't put that
Read
shit
the
on
manga.
Read the manga. Yeah. I think we'll do that. But yeah. So yeah. We're gonna leave it here for today.
Right.
Next week we will
Yeah.
be bringing. We will let you guys know. Please follow our socials. We have Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram.
Insta.
Chancla Team on all of them. So just follow us there.
Yep.
Or follow us here, obviously on Twitch, Chancla Team. And next week, but yeah, we'll be just letting you guys know what's coming up next week. We would change things up a little bit.
Yep.
And we will let you know what's gonna come up. Add some video games into this too, and yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
And you can find this podcast and YouTube
Oh
and
yes,
Spotify.
now we're on YouTube and Spotify, so yeah, go find us there. And thank you guys for being here. Catalol, thank you for
Thank you
having
guys.
Thank you.
this conversation with us. Darfer for being
Thank you so
here,
much.
lurking. There's some. I like that he's like, hi, I'll leave you the lurk here. Bye.
Thank you.
And Salty is around there on the chat. He hasn't spoken, but I see his name there. So thank you. We really appreciate it, guys.
Thank you, mi gente.
All right. Thank you,
Thank
everybody.
you guys.
See you
Yeah.
guys soon.